to do, and I keep getting some pretty crazy news. You know, we're about to have this crazy planetary conjunction and whatnot. I think I'm going to move the box. Let me do this. Here. I'm going to turn it so you can see what I'm doing. I got all kinds of stuff I got to do. It's just too much work to do around here. So I'm just going to talk. I got the phone stuck in a box that I cut. You should learn how to do that if you don't already know. Just take it here, I'll show you. Just take a, sorry about the shake. Let me get my finger. Oh. So this right here, just to cut a notch in the box. And then you can just stick your phone in it. You don't need to buy anything. It just stays there. Anyway, so I got to tear this thing apart because it got destroyed by the wind. So I'm going to keep doing that. But a couple of things to note. Bitcoin is at 22,000 last I saw. 22 something, almost 23,000. And politics, people are... Well, that's actually what I should probably talk about, is the politics. So, I don't like politics. I don't like government. Call me an anarchist. I'll smile at you because that's pretty accurate. But I'm more of a Jeffersonian anarchist. I don't think the government should be getting involved in our independent business, and we should be able to individually have commerce with each other, agreements, simple enough. And integrity is one of the most important things. And just I'll make notes on integrity on things that I'm doing, but you got to look at actual data. Like if you're a juror, you have to actually look and view the evidence with an unbiased opinion, because opinions have very little value in that situation. You actually just have to go by the law and by the evidence that's presented. I'm looking for screws that are still. All right, here. Still on it? Yeah. So this is the sawmill, 36-inch bad boy, and I put up this cheesy structure. So I didn't mean to do so, but I did, and it didn't stay up. No surprise. So I'm just gonna rip this thing down. Looking at evidence, and I would encourage people to stop listening to the political rhetoric on Facebook and on mainstream media and anywhere. Just stop listening to the political rhetoric. I love Walter Cronkite because he didn't give his opinion about things, he only gave data. And that's what a reporter's supposed to do, is report. Okay, so you have commentary. And there was lots of radio talk shows and all this stuff, and you could plug into that if you wanted to, but when your information source is 80% rhetoric, then you're not getting real data, you're getting opinion. And so if we stick to that, look at real data, I mean, I'm seeing what I'm seeing, and I'm not going to go into what I'm seeing or add my rhetoric or my opinion about things, but you do need to look at integrity. I mean, you're talking about, like, the biggest deal right now is the whole Trump-Biden, you know, what about election falsities? I'm going to be careful with the language I use. So if there's evidence of foul play, do you really support and want the people that are responsible for that to be running the country? Simple. Like, who is it? And you're most likely to have the guilty party blaming the other party, or you know, oh, look at them, look at that, look at them over there. They, them, but it's them, it's me that's doing the dirty deeds. So you have to look, you have to be discerning for yourself. And I'm not going to give you an opinion one side or the other. Obviously, I'm a little heated about this. But people are going to get, the mainstream people are not being responsible. They're fomenting the riot and the upset unnecessarily. And you just got to stop listening to the rhetoric. So there is something that's going to happen. It's not going to be pretty. I'm not sure exactly what is transpiring, but it's not going to be pretty. It's going to be messy, and people are going to be upset, and people are going to be hurt, and innocent people are going to be hurt and led astray or whatever. And you need to know how to grow your own food. You need to have preparations in place, and you need to be able to take care of your own. And it may be more important than ever to be able to do that. And people have been warned for years, oh, get your bug out bag. Well, you don't need to bug out unless you live in the city. And I certainly wouldn't want to live in the city right now. That's why I'm out here working on my sawmill, because, I can cut some of these trees up that have already fallen and, build some more structures and help people if I have to. And the other thing I'm looking at is, do I keep the house I'm in, or do I sell the house? Because I've got fiscal responsibilities to take care of, and the timing is really good where I'm at. So I've got garden space here, and I could grow, all kinds of stuff. I can build all manner of different structures out here, cabins. I could use aircrete. I can do all kinds of different things, but I wind up doing everything myself because my people are somewhere else. Like the majority of the people that would go help me and like think like I do, they're they're back in New Mexico. So it is valuable to be where your family is. There is that. And then there are a lot of decisions that need to be made. So I hope that you can make some good decisions. I hope that you can actually set aside emotion and look at actual information and make good decisions. And I would hope that on you. But man, I tell you, it's not going to be pretty. I'm concerned, and I don't like it when good people get hurt. I don't like it when people are led astray, taking advantage of all these different mechanisms that are only designed to make people go a certain way. And yeah, you want COVID, okay, right? Everybody's all worried about that. And yes, people get sick, the flu last year cost many lives. But here's a question, right? And I'm not going to tell you this is fact. What would happen if you worked in a hospital administration, if you worked in hospital administration and you were told that the hospital gets $35,000 if they write COVID as the reason for death? Just a question. What if, right? No theories here. Not like conspiring. It asks some questions. So, what if? All right. Well, what if there was a group of people who some years ago put some machines in place to profit from vaccination? Oh, I have text. Look at that. Right? So they're in the comments from one of my friends, family in New Mexico. So just ask a couple of questions, right? What if? And then come to your own conclusions. Think for yourself. The only thing that's going to save us is more people thinking for themselves, more people taking care of themselves and their family, and more people thinking with community and how we can work together to do more. Yeah. So the last time we had this particular planetary conjunction was a war in the United States. And that's something else that you can look at. That's interesting. Now, I'm not sure if it's, I don't think everything is caused by the planets necessarily, but um, it makes sense that things would correlate. Like you have this house and all these different things, this junctions going on while something is happening, and the energy is similar. So those connections are happening. And yeah, my friend Josh said, blood in, blood out. Well, okay. But there's also been peaceful resolutions to conflict, and that's possible. Um, and if possible, without selling yourself out, yeah, that's right, 800 years. Without selling yourself out, um, it's possible to come to a peaceful resolution based on everybody surviving. It's like, well, let's figure out first food, shelter, heat, water. You need those things to survive, place to sleep that's safe, um, be able to own your own things, trade your work or your whatever your material goods for, goods or services from someone else, and you have means of exchange, and then you have corrupt people that are usurping the means of exchange for their own benefit. It's it's sad. It's sad, really. Like, if you are in a position of authority, you should be more responsible. You should be serving. And if you're serving self, you're not going to survive. It's just not going to work. You have to learn how to serve other people. So the happiest I've ever been was when I knew with the most certainty that I was actually in service. That's the happiest I've ever been. Um, and like this goofy tent that I put together that blew apart in the wind. You build your structure on a house of cards, and it'll it will fall apart. It'll just get blown away. But the people, like, if I trust somebody to do a job, and I put my dollars in or my vote in for that person to do the job, then that person is the servant, and they should be treated as such, and they should be trying to do their job. And when they're not doing their job, somebody else should do the job. Tell me that's wrong. So we'll see. I hear all kinds of crazy rumors. Uh, you know, everything from we're being invaded to uh, they're just, revolution. And just think on who your actual enemies are. People blame the government or this group or that group, and it's not a group, it's a person. So, individual integrity and responsibility, individual justice. And the sad thing is that man can't even be trusted to impose justice on himself. That's the sad thing. So, I don't want to keep this too long, but if you guys have any questions, like, I can tell you about some crypto stuff, like, um, even in that group, and I love crypto. It's so much fun. I think it's financially the salvation of mankind to come, at least temporarily. We have to have some means of exchange. It has to be global. We're a global trade, and it's got to work, And there's some things out there. Bitcoin's proven that it works. Attacks and vilification and denial and crashes and all this other stuff. No, it's there and it's growing and it works. And now it's $22,000 last I looked. So Bitcoin's working. But even in that in that group, you got, why is CoinMarketCap and CoinGecko not showing hex? Why? What's the actual market? What's the actual market cap of hex? And you can look at it for yourself. It's an open ledger, you know? Like, why is it there? Why is it not on the top 10? Or, whatever its category is right at the moment. It's just politics. They'll shill some trash thing that falls apart and goes away and a bunch of people lose money, and then not do something for something built with integrity. Okay. politics. You don't like me. Please tell me. It's okay. You don't like me. That's fine. I can live with that, you know. But if you are dishonest with yourself and other people, then that's not going to work. It's like if you're there to report, even CoinMarketCap, if you're there to report, just openly and unbiased report. That's your job. You chose that when you opened the website, and you should be responsible. Another thing, you know, CNN. Fuck those guys, like straight up. Don't listen to that crap. Bunch of rhetoric. You need facts. Go to facts. Where are you going to find facts? Please tell me where you can get real facts. That would be really helpful. Please tell everyone. It's like, oh, I got some good facts on this. Well, how can you tell facts? Even the fact checkers are hired. So, well, you know. So the whole system needs a line from Batman. This town needs an enema, right? Yeah. So, fact checkers. Well, you know who the fact checker should be? You. Pretty much. That's all you got. Don't believe me, please. But I want you to think for yourself and look with your own eyes and get your own facts. And if you don't have time to do it, well, maybe you're just being run over by the machine that they built to keep you enslaved. So don't participate in that either. And what about the Federal Reserve? Is it a private company? What are their actual statistics? Well, in 1913, when they took over, $20 was a gold ounce coin. Right? What is it now? Gold ounce coin is what? 1,200? Yeah. More, maybe. Probably going to go to 2,500. Infused 150 years worth of debt in a couple of years, year and a half. It's a big racket. So don't believe me. Go look. Yeah. I don't think the Federal Reserve had power in the beginning. You know, even the IRS said it was a voluntary compliance system. But, you know, if you are convincing enough to the people that have the guns and the handcuffs, then they'll go do your bidding. And even if you're wrong, you still have power. So, you know, I'm not necessarily going to take on that fight. I don't think it would be an unworthy fight to take on, like to shut down the IRS and get rid of the Federal Reserve. I don't think that would be an unworthy endeavor, but you know, that's not my job. So I almost I've made a few mistakes in my day for like with crypto, but you know, taking a moral stand on some of those things, like I won't buy Tether. That hurt. And then I won't touch Ripple. XRP is the banker's coin. You know, doesn't matter. They're trying to use cryptocurrency to get rid of the SWIFT system. Also a good idea. I think that's a overly controlled, unreliable bunch of skimming predators running the banking institution. So, trying to figure out how I can best take care of my family. I don't even have a generator at my own house yet. It is cold outside. That sun went down and it just, anyway, so I got a lot of work to do here too. I'm just trying to stay afloat. Fix the door and turn on the light. Anyway, so if you guys want to leave some comments, ask questions, like there are some projects. If you check out, that's a good one, man. Listening to Richard Hart, he's well, he is who he is, and he's not fake. So I'm not going to compare him to Donald Trump because he'd probably get offended. And I actually like Richard. So, but he says what he says, and he doesn't really care to censor his feelings or his opinions. And like him or not, he's very intelligent, and he knows crypto. So the product that he created with Hex, you should look at it. And I don't even have a link on the video, so I'm just telling you, go look at it. Do it for yourself. Go buy 10,000 Hex with your Uniswap or however you want to do it, and stake it for 10 years and see what the numbers are. The thing that he does is basically a CD account, and it works. So it's been audited twice. It's one of the best projects that I've seen, as far as just that thing. It's just a financial instrument, right? So we need more of those. Some other things to look at are what's called an oracle. So an oracle is a piece of software that looks out into the world and finds out information and runs and hits triggers in other pieces of software that do other things. So it goes out and finds information, like you say you wanted to bet on this football team or that football team in this game, right? So it just sees what the outcome is, and pays out the right parties. So that's an oracle. Look at Chainlink, that's one of them. There's a whole list of them. It's a piece of software that's very important for the future. And then you have, different financial instruments, loans and different things that you can get from the blockchain. Not just the blockchain, but people on the blockchain voting or bidding against each other to get your business, to lend you money for different things, right? Some of it secured and some of it unsecured. And then, and there are all kinds of different financial instruments. Then you need transactions. You want to have something that's fungible, that works everywhere. So transactions. So we're seeing these things. You can go on PayPal now and buy some Bitcoin and Litecoin, Bitcoin Cash, and I think Ethereum. So it's on. We're going to get free. Those of us that are looking and aware are going to get free of the financial restraint that I think everybody else is going to be suffering very soon. So diversify, don't be stupid. Don't put all your eggs in one basket. If one thing crashes, you have to have a backup. Get some silver. Silver is fungible, especially if it's coins that are minted somewhere that's got the backing of counterfeit law. So I like, different, not necessarily the Liberty coins, but like Canadian coins and like some of these other ones. You don't, have some variety. Different people have different opinions about different things. I don't know what Jasara is. Well, you'll tell me. If I could, I'd get you live. I don't know how to do that. Let's see. I don't think I have that possibility on here. No. Oh. The Debt Jubilee? That's an interesting idea. I don't know that we're deep enough into I don't think the problem is, if you read the Virginia statute on religious freedom, it literally, it's not necessarily a separation of church and state, but it's a resistance for church overtaking the state. Because you didn't want the papacy running the country. I don't know how the Jubilee, which is it's from the Torah, which is very, specific. I don't know how you'd be able to reach around, constitutionally, how that would work. So, if some benevolent entity was to leave a bunch of, okay, so what if you found 500 tons of pure gold sitting in a hole, and you started to take that and put it out into the world? And the value of gold, part of it is in its scarcity. And it's not necessarily, you could lock up a portion of it like De Beers does with the diamonds, but you could lock it up and restrict the amount, but it's still there, and the feeling of it um, wouldn't be the same. Yeah. Well, yeah, you go trading on the comics, and they've got a bunch of coin that doesn't exist out there. 50 million ounces a year or a day trading. It's like that doesn't exist. They don't have it in the comics. They're doing fractional reserve. So another one you can't trust. We're trusting the wrong people. When it comes to money, people are insane. I've seen it myself. Like, I've been, I was thinking that I found, I'm goofy sometimes. I do some silly stuff. It's interesting. I amuse myself with my own humanity. Um, but I thought I found the Lost Adams diggings and wasn't uh, wasn't as accurate as I thought. But even so, just the idea of finding gold made some people kind of crazy. And they tried to go get it first, like, and then oh yeah, I was like, I get it too. Like oh, my friend tells me about, oh, Finn's gold, right? We were way off. But it sure was fun, and I really appreciate being sent out there to like play that game, and I love Finn for that. Like, putting a package of gold out there and giving the quest and being able to go pursue it, even though I didn't find it. But anyway, I enjoyed going and looking for it. I don't know. Okay. Well, I don't know who Finn was. Hey, I'll tell you what though. Hey Josh, do you want to find we could figure out how to actually live chat and have a conversation? I think that would be more amusing because it seems like you're the only one looking. Somebody might look later, but if they get anything out of this video, I hope it comes down to one basic thing. And yeah, I still smoke cigarettes, whatever. But I hope they get the look for yourself, think for yourself, get your own data. You are the fact checker. Don't trust somebody else. Who are they working for? What's their agenda? What's their bias? It's like, if I know that I'm making $300,000 a year because I have these lines of corporations, that I make sure that they don't get attacked by somebody's real opinion, then whatever. Well, that's good for you, man. All right, so I'm gonna end this and I'm gonna call my friend. I don't know what's going on there. There we go. I don't know how to turn this stupid thing off.